Hello everyone, Educator here. Welcome back to my Newcomer's Guide to Dark Souls Remastered. This is part 23. So in the last episode, we ended up facing off against the Demon Fire Sage, as well as the Centipede Demon, which we ended up getting Solaris help for. And we're about to head down into Lost Izalith. A couple of things to remember, as well as a possible correction about something I said in a previous episode. I think I said that if you step foot into Lost Izalith, that Quaylana will disappear. However, it's actually after we beat the Bed of Chaos boss fight. However, the quest regarding Solaire will automatically progress once we reach Lost Izalith, which we're heading to now. So you're going to want to make sure that you've progressed it. So we're going to head around here. Head into here. Now we're going to find Solaire in here. He's a little bit dejected about him not finding his son up to this point. Got another bonfire. I guess I probably could have rested here in the last episode, but that's fine. And then we're going to head around here. And if you have not progressed his story, as well as if you have not accessed the, the Sunlight Maggot and killed that, then this is kind of the point where his quest will end up ending. You'll find him there. So Lost Izalith, now we are there. That's basically the trigger for it. So we're basically just going to follow this path. We're going to find a couple of items along the way. Ironically, this place is a lot larger looking than it actually is. So, come around there. These things, by the way, do give it about 2,000 souls apiece. However, they won't aggro you until you get really, really close to them. So, I recommend just avoiding them unless you want to go after them for farming reasons. Got a soul item. And around one of these we have an entrance. Got another soul item. So kind of just run from them. So before we head up there, we're going to head back here. We got a couple of items we're going to get. So back here are a couple of divine blessings. These basically give you full heals and get rid of any poison, any toxin, and anything that's going on. Head up this path for a Twin Humanities. And you can either go back down or you can just drop off, which is what I'm going to do. And inside here is a secret bonfire. So we're going to head forward towards this little broken out building here. So there are going to be a bunch of these things. They're going to be spitting fire at you, so I usually just like to kill all of them before I start doing anything serious. Another one. By the way, if you are not human, we're about to be invaded by the next and last Kirk instance, so go ahead and become human at some point if you want to get the last Kirk invasion. Killing him this time will end up unlocking his gear, so we'll be going to get his gear here in a little bit after we kill him. So head around here. Got a soul item. Don't let these guys puke on you, by the way. If they do, they will damage your gear. In here, we're going to make a right. We're going to head up here. So what I recommend doing is kill the fire person first quickly, because we're also going to be invaded by Kirk. Got an Izalith catalyst. Again, at this stage, we're doing quite a bit of damage. Nothing we can't manage. This, by the way, goes to the Bed of Chaos. We'll be going for that here in a little bit, which is the boss. For now, though, we're going to head down here. Got a Chaos Fire Whip Pyromancy here. So we're going to make a right over here. Head down this route. Don't worry about the item off to the right. We'll get it here in a moment. So I got a soul item. This can be kind of a pain in the butt to get a hold of. There we go. Ring of Sacrifice. Rare Ring of Sacrifice, sorry. So you can actually grab it when you're kind of falling, like I did. Anyway, head back up. Now we're going to take the other route. A whole bunch more of these fire things down here. And this goes back to the bonfire with and the elevator that leads to the Quaylag bonfire next to the Fair White Lady. So that's going to be your route if you're going to be coming back here, especially if you get killed by the Bed of Chaos, and trust me, you will probably get killed by the Bed of Chaos. So, before we do anything else, be aware that this floor is going to break. And you want to be careful because you don't want to fall all the way down. So, if you want to go down the safe way, follow this down. So your ultimate goal, by the way, is to come over here and talk to our friend over there. We're gonna grab a couple of things while we're here first, though. Yeah. So this has poison in it. We're gonna do the rusted iron ring, though. So take this path, and this will take us over to the item next to the enemy that we just got through killing. Now we're gonna head over here. So what we want to do is we don't want to talk to him just yet. What we actually want to do is want to kill basically all but one of these things, and we want to have put a lot of damage onto these. So what's going to happen is, if you talk to him a couple of times, he's going to jump down there, and if he dies, his quest is over. If he lives and has less than 50% health remaining, the quest is over, and you'll get a ring that basically is a combination of let's see, all of the stone plate rings, so the flame, magic, and lightning stone plate rings. However, it only does 25 defense increase as opposed to 50, so it's not really a good ring. The better option is to progress his story so that we can actually see it to its end, which will allow us to get another Titanite slab. So, in my opinion, that's a much better thing to have. So, we're going to go ahead and switch over to my bow. I'm going to nail most of these enemies with poison arrows. As you can see, that they die pretty fast, so especially with the amount of damage that we're hitting them with right now. So there's also another one back there. You can kind of see the leg right there. So okay, we're going to talk to him. Now, we also don't want to kill all of them ourselves, so he's going to jump down, and we're going to help him. And then we're going to come over and kill this last one. So talk to him and you'll find out what he's going to give you. So if he goes to sleep, that is what you want him to do. Anyway, I got a few items down here we're going to go ahead and grab. There's also a chest down here that we're going to get as well. I always get mixed up where the chest is. So just kind of go around the perimeter and you'll see a chest at the end of a hallway. There it is. So red Titanite slab. Fully levels up a fire weapon. Don't fall into these holes, by the way. They'll kill you. So now we're going to get out of here and to do that, hop back on here, and we're just going to head back up this path. Okay, so I kind of leave it to you at this point. Whichever bonfire you want to use for this. None of them are super close. I think this one is just fine though, but you have to go by a respawning Titanite demon who does hit really hard. He can probably kill you in a couple of shots if you're not careful. Anyway, we're gonna go back up there, but I'm gonna go to a bonfire first to spend my souls. You are probably going to die during this. Your first couple of times. This is probably the worst designed boss in all of Dark Souls. This boss is so insanely cheesed. Most people absolutely despise this boss. Got our Titanite. So coming down here, you're gonna run into Solaire, by the way. So again, he's still a little bit sad, but at least he's going to survive because we killed the what do you call it? The Sunlight Maggot. So at the end of there, by the way, is Kirk's gear, as long as you've killed him all 3 times. Once in the depths, once in the lead up to the, or well, technically in the Demon Ruins, and then once in Lost Izalith, his gear will appear. Alright, so let's talk about what we're going to be doing here. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and grab some levels. I'm going to try to use up all of my souls as best as I can. And the main reason for that is going to be that whenever we go down to this boss fight, if you die, you will drop your souls and your humanity, of course, and depending on where you drop them, it may be really, really hard to get them back. There are many people who will die 3 or 4 times against this boss before killing him, so I wouldn't worry too much about your souls, so spend what you can. If you've got anything that you want to spend the humanity that you currently have on, you might as well do that now as well, because there's a very good chance that you will probably die and you may end up not being able to get back your souls. I don't think it's really worth it, however, to risk using Rings of Sacrifice at this phase. Though you can buy plenty of Rings of Sacrifice from Oswald of Kareem if you really want to. I definitely wouldn't waste the rare ones. But I'll leave it to you to decide if that's something that bothers you. As far as the gear that we're going to want to equip for this fight, I'm going to wait until we actually get down to the boss fight, but we're basically going to put on something light and something that is effective against fire. So gold-hemmed black hood is just fine. This boss does most of its damage in fire to you, as well as it does swipes left and right. Those can be pretty hellish. So you can kind of decide whether or not you want to do try to be mobile and do maybe the Darkwood Grain Ring. There's several different ways that you could do this particular trek, but I'm going to end up switching out to something that does better fire protection. So Dragon Crest Shield should be a good thing. I may swap out my Ornstein gear to give me a fast run. So beyond that, though, I would go with something that's fast. If you are a heavy weapon user going into this battle, you're going to want to probably switch to something that's a little bit lighter, because you want to be able to get in quick hits, as well as be able to roll fast into stuff that needs to be broken. Beyond that, let's see, I've got 14,000 souls. How many do I need to level up? 43. Let's see, how many does that give me? Hey, that's pretty darn close. So we are now at 40 endurance, by the way. That is actually our hard cap for endurance. As you can see, if I push it any higher, we don't gain any stamina, just equipment load. So if that's important to you, you can keep doing endurance. But in this case, I'm going to be sticking with this, and I'm going to start working on vitality. Strength and dexterity, by the way, they do hit their soft caps once we start hitting 40 as well, though they don't hit their full caps for much longer. So I'm going to go ahead and do vitality for now, and that's going to leave me with very few souls, which is just the way I like it. So we're going to head back to the boss. And there are a bunch of different ways to cheese this boss. I don't think any of them are particularly easy. So kind of up to you if you want to look up the cheese stats for him. I'm going to recommend just rolling off here. Get you down the fastest. Then we're going to take the shortcut back to Lost Izalith. Again, this Titanite demon that we have to face, I recommend locking on to him and circling him. That way you can hold out your shield whenever he hits you. Because again, he does hit like a truck really, really hard. And then I usually pan the camera away from him, away from my front to him, so that I can see whenever he launches his electrical damage attacks. So we'll see that as we approach him. There's his electrical damage, which should pass us up. Okay, so the way this is going to work, we're going to drop down here, and we're going to end up... I prefer to go right first. Some people like to go left first. I've always gone right first. And I'm going to end up attacking the thing on the right. Now, on our way, we're not really going to be dealing with much as far as the enemy attacking us. Once we kill the thing that's on the end there, however, we're going to quit out of the game, because that will reposition us right here. That way, if we end up dying, we don't have our souls all the way in a corner that we're not going to be coming back to, because your souls will be usually near the one that you actually destroy last. Once we get to the right one, I'm going to start heading to the left, as close to the back of the room as possible. The floor is going to start caving in, and the enemy is going to start doing swipes with his arms left and right. Usually farther away you don't really have to deal with those, so I'm going to try to stay in the back of the room, though you can definitely block them left or right. However, those attacks are really dangerous because they can basically launch you into the pits, because again, the ground will be crumbling around you. So I'm going to make my way to the left. As we approach the left, the floor is going to fall out in front of us, and we're going to have to make a jump. So we'll have to make a pretty precarious jump over there. And then we'll get the other one of these things that we have to attack. After we get that, we're going to end up kind of hugging the inside of the enemy's tree branches, I guess, that are on the ground. And that can usually help us to avoid the sweep attacks. And then the ground in front of the boss will end up caving in as well. Once that happens, we need to basically get to the kind of right side or their left side of the boss, and then drop down into the pit onto some branches and then climb. Once we deal with the first one, by the way, the first of the three pieces, we'll start getting attacked by fire. So that's one reason why you probably want a good shield. I recommend probably the Dragon Crest shield for this, since it has such high fire damage resistance. And it's kind of up to you. The sweep attacks do quite a bit of damage, but so does the fire, so you could go for the gold-hemmed Black Hood gear if you're having more problems with the fire attacks, or you could go with something that's really high defense. But you want to be mobile is the biggest thing for this particular part, because doing a lot of damage doesn't help you here, because it only takes like 1 or 2 hits of anything in order to kill each of the 3 pieces of this boss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for something that's going to give me speed. So I'm at 19.1. I'm at 21.9. Do I still have a fast roll? Yes. And I put on Ornstein's pants. No, I can't. So we'll go with the gold helm stuff. We want to have a fast roll. And then for the ring, it's kind of up to you. Again, you might consider his the fire damage. You might also consider the Darkwood Grain Ring, because it allows you to roll real fast. But I think that makes the rolling too inaccurate. I always tend to over or under estimate for it, so I'm going to recommend, for me anyway, the Flamestone Plate Ring. So we're going to run with that, and that's going to be it. So once we kill the first one, we're going to quit out of the game. Once we kill the second, we're going to quit out of the game, and then we're going to head for the first. That'll make sure that if we do die, our position will spawn in place. In addition, that's one benefit, is if you kill one of them, whenever you come back to the boss, it'll already be dead. So this is a whole lot of RNG though, so be prepared to die. Try not to get frustrated. Everybody struggles with this boss. Just be patient. So you can see those tendrils there. I'm going to head for the right one first, trying to stay towards the back of the arena. So there's the arms. And then what you want to do is roll into the area. You only have to roll into the enemy, you don't even have to actually do damage. So now he's going to start doing fire attacks against you, now that he's got one of these things out. And I'm going to go ahead and quit out of the game. Because again, if I die trying to make it to the other side, I don't want my souls here, which is really hard to get back to. So that puts me right outside the boss gate. Next, we're going to go down again, and I'm going to take the left path, hugging the back wall. The floors are going to start crumbling around us, and we will have to make a jump. So this can be a little precarious. So try to be careful as you head back here. So duck in here. Floor is going to crumble. And there's the jump you're going to have to make. So I recommend holding off, waiting for one of his attacks to complete, and then making this jump. Then again, try to roll to your destination. Second one is dead. Quit out of the game. Again, if this fight wasn't such BS for a lot of people, most people wouldn't have a problem with this fight. It's absolutely a test of RNG. Random number generation, by the way, if you don't know what RNG means. It's basically complete chance. Alright, so there's the fire. Now we're going to want to make it towards the front of the arena. And that is one of the more devastating attacks. You can block that, by the way. Oof. So once you're down here, you're not completely safe, but you're getting close. And he's dead. So there's no way to get out of this pit, by the way, as far as I know. So if you did not get your souls, you're going to want to not sit at this bonfire. yet, or you want to, travel away to another bonfire. Otherwise, though, if you didn't drop your souls, go ahead and activate the bonfire. Go ahead and grab another level. I still have some soul items to use. Oh, so close. That's sad. That's so close. Alright. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and warp to Firelink Shrine, and that's basically going to wrap up Lost Izalith. So, we're starting to get close to kind of the last few things that we're going to be doing. So, what we're going to be heading towards in the next episode is actually going to be the Great Hollow. That's at the bottom of Blighttown. So, we're going to head towards there. We're also going to become a member of the last Covenant, the Path of the Dragon, and then we're going to be heading towards, and I don't know how far we're going to get. We'll definitely get to the bottom, I think, of the Great Hollow, but we may not finish up the episode with the next area. So Great Hollow and Ash Lake should be next, and then after that will end up being the Tomb of the Giants, and then we get to tackle the DLC, which will take a few episodes, and then the final boss. So we're getting close. With that being said, though, that's going to be kind of the trek over the next several episodes. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.